Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to part 1 of a brand new series on Expedition Vikings. It's going to be a full playthrough blind of this amazing RPG. Now, there is another game before this called Expedition Conquistador. I recommend you guys check that out. It's, of course, set in a different period and is not really a sequel or anything. It's literally just another version or a different Expedition games. Now, this game is brilliant. I will let a link down to the Steam page in below, and let's get on with this. So first things first, we've got our lovely character creator. We're, of course, a male. Our beard's a bit fuzzy there, so let's get ourselves a proper... There we go, a nice full beard. First things first, let's get our name. We're going to be called Sigma, because I like the name. And our father's name, let's figure out what we want him to be called. Gandalfer? No, that's just... I couldn't pronounce that one. We need one I can pronounce. Dagfinner. No. Agvalder? We'll see. Let's find one I can pronounce. Are they all end in R? That's nope. Arnstein. No, that doesn't. Gunmar. Gunmar. Our father is called Gunmar. Let's have a look at our portrait now. This is the portrait I picked when I first played through for the I played through for about 2 hours just to get used to the game, make sure it was worth something I wanted to play. So let's move on. So this is our all set up now. So let's decide our build. It could be huge. Small or thin or medium. So we're going to go thin. Give ourselves the typical build. Head-wise, I'm going to go with probably... We'll go with scarred. I like the idea of scarred. Full beard. Hair, we're going to go with undercut, but not shaven undercut. Because as much as I like that, I think this one's a little bit better and just suits the character better. So we're going to go with... where is it? It's the leather tunic. I'm going to go with braces. You can go with heavy sleeves or bare or light sleeves. We're going to go braces. And now the bottom is sandals, wrappings, cloth shoes, boots, and sandals. So we're going to go with boots. Now, the colors will affect your shields, your outfit, and your banners. So let's have a look. I'm going to go with white, black, black. So there we go. That's our character's color, and that's our flags. Pretty simple colors, nothing special about it, but it does its job, and we could go with a red, but I mean, I think the black is better. Black and white is better. So that's what we're going to go with. Let's move on. Now we've got our skills and stats. Now there's multiple variants of skills, and obviously the 5 basic stats, which also increase your secondary stats and everything. I believe they'll change this description as well, so... Strength determines base damage with axes and swords and affects physical resistance. Strength is essential for warriors and will occasionally enable knockouts and other physical feats in dialogue. Endurance determines hit points, base damage reduction, block chance with shields, and affects stamina. Endurance is of the utmost importance to frontline fighters. Finesse determines base damage with knives and spears and critical chance with all weapons. Finesse is important to ranged characters and fast-handed rogues, and can occasionally be used for surprise attacks and dialogue. Perception determines accuracy with ranged weapons. Perception is crucial to archers, and will often reveal additional information during dialogue. And Sense affects mental resistance and stamina. Sense is fundamental to witches, skalds, and other support characters who can often be used for persuasion and dialogue. Now, of course, we are going to be, well, I should probably... show you what type of user or weapons we're going to be wielding. Now there's every weapon here. There's axe, bow, Dane axe, knives, shields, slings, spears, sword, and unarmed. Now we're going to be a double axe wielder and a double sword wielder. So that reason I'm going to be for that is because there is the stat dual wielding, which we are going to take up. Now we could get it up to 2, and you know what I think we're going to. So we've got 11 points over. We spent a lot. You automatically get interrupt. Now I was going to go for charge, but I think what I'm going to go and do is I'm actually going to get myself some. You can have some support skills, which I'm going to ignore for this specific character because I don't think any would suit him. We can go with these are skills outside of battle. These are utilities, so we're going to be good at guarding. We don't need to go. We don't need to go more than one. Heavy sleeper. That's not really useful for us. Definitely, we're going to go for hunting, so we can help hunt when we're camping, and we'll go for scouting. Yeah, we'll go scouting as well. No. Shit, we'll ignore that, and we're going to give ourselves a passive skill. So these are all the passive skills. There are a lot of them, but where are some of the best ones? I know there is a really good one, opportunist. No, that's not what I want. Harden's pretty good. Good patient. Definitely useful. Favored, fortune favored. Pretty useful. Can't get it though. So I think we're gonna go for. Let's see. There's not really many that I don't think we can get at the moment. Quick feet's pretty nice. Avenger's also nice as well. Now, I think we'll just ignore passive skills for now, because I don't think there's any actually I really want for this. Actually, Evader. Yeah, Evader. I got taken out a lot by archers in my beginning. So this has already changed our description, and we're going to go with, give ourselves 8 strength. We're going to take our sense down to 3. Now, yes, it affects... No, we're going to take it down to 4. And increase our endurance by 2. So, born to Gunmar and Astra in the year 769, the Julian calendar, with captivating green eyes and hair as black as night. You've grown to be a strong and tough man. You are known amongst your clansmen as a ferocious berserker, always the first to charge into the fray. It's not what I was going for, but I mean, I like it. So, this is our character, and ladies and gentlemen, get ready for a nice bit of dialogue. Well, nice intro video. I'll let you guys see that.
Your father was a great warrior and a good husband, but he was not a strong chieftain to his clan. As he travels to join his brothers in the halls of Valhalla, you must take his place. Our clan is beset by petty squabbles. Some amongst our people would contest your claim to leadership, as they saw discord our neighbors plot against us. Gather your most trusted clansmen. Together you will face dangers which none can predict. You will be challenged on your leadership, your resolve, your wisdom. Build a ship and take your housecarls across the sea. Power and strength for our clan must be sought outside the Norse lands. If you show yourself to be bold, the gods will follow you into battle. Your legacy will live for 1,000 years beyond your time. Our clan must prevail.
Lovely intro. Now let's get into it. Right. So let's get straight into the game. We are going to be given a nice long dialogue spree, so I hope you guys are ready to hear me talk. Aid me, Odin, in my effort to buy in the struggles of a bygone time as glimmering light on glass. It is the evening after your father's funeral. When you close your eyes, the image of his blazing ship shimmers in the dark behind your eyelids. It's not a common ritual this far south, but your mother Astrida, I'm just going to call her Astrid, who hails from the land of the Geats, insisted on it. All the thanes of the neighbouring clans have come to attend your feast in his honour. Your father may not have been the most successful thane, but as a warrior he commanded the respect of many. The guests are filling into your longhouse. The thanes enter first, each trailing a modern group of warriors. Your mother leans in to whisper a few words of advice before she takes her seat. You should greet each of the other thanes before the feast begins. But listen well to their words. Few of them would benefit from making this a smooth transition. It will be important to you to know where they stand. So, exploration. Characters with golden nameplates have dialogue for you. Click on them to talk to them. The icons over the chair is the quest marker. You can turn these on and off in the game settings for a more independent play experience. Gold quest markers indicate mandatory objectives. Talking to the other thanes is not mandatory, marked by the silver quest marker, which indicate optional objectives. When you want to move on, just take a seat by clicking on your chair. Let's go talk to Rurik Gunnarsson. The older brother Rurik had always had a penchant for music. He looks up and gives you a smile as you approach him. Got a killed brother? Rurik grins. I mean, my honoured thane. How do you feel? I'm well, Rurik. I know our father is in Valhalla now. of Valhalla now. Rook smiles. You can barely hear his soft voice over the din of the feast. I'm certain he is. Odin would be a fool not to accept a warrior like him. How has everyone been treating you? Everyone knows you are the better warrior, and I a stronger-willed man than I. Nobody wants me as their Thegn. To tell you the truth, I think our clansmen are almost as revealed as I am that you took on the mantle. I have to go and be a good host. I'll talk to you later. Your brother flashes at you a cheeky grin. Just use the old signal if you want me to get out of a if you need help getting out of an old conversation with one of the other Thanes. Let's talk to Ketil Kolbarinsson. I think that is.
Busy entertaining your guests?
Ketil is standing off to a side, holding a horn full of mead. The young hunter appears to be watching the feast with a faintly amused expression, and he nods respectfully when you come near. Not too busy to check in on you. Ketil shifts his weight restlessly. I've had an uneasy off feeling all night. Have you seen Huskars over there in the corner? Okay, this is gonna be interesting. Hodgerda and Skaki. I've heard stories about them. Nefja seems to be expecting trouble, so I've decided to go easy on the meat and keep an eye out. I appreciate that. It never hurts to be careful. He throws his head back slightly towards Asleif. Speaking of which, keep an eye on the big log back there. He and his friends have been putting their heads together all night. I think he might be planning something. I'll keep an eye on him. Leave the watch to me. This is your feast. You should relax and enjoy yourself. I'll alert you if something happens. So, this is our cousin, Aself. Aself is a distant cousin. Leadership of the clan has moved between your side of the family and his for generations. He's known as a skilled warrior and a hard worker. Elif sits with his two closest friends.
Our condolences on the passing of your father. At least he died the way he would have wanted. He will be feasting with the gods tonight.
He looks up when you approach his end of the table. Neither of his friends acknowledge your presence. His tone is respectful but slightly cold. Thank you. I hope there is no bad blood between... Actually, no, we're not that stupid. I mean, yes, our sense isn't great, but no. There's no need for pretense. You've never respected my father. I will not ask that you begin now. Asleif seems to consider this for a while before replying. It's no secret I didn't agree with how Gunmar ruled our clan. Bearing this in mind, I don't see what gives you the right to succeed him. But this is a feast in his honor, and I will not insult his memory here, nor will I challenge your clan claim to leadership. Thank you for keeping these things separated. He simply nods, then returns his attention to his companions. So who do we want to speak to next? We've got 4 people left to speak to, and these ones are optional, but definitely worth talking to. We'll go speak to Halfdar Salamanderson. Halfdnar, oh god. Ladies and gentlemen, I do apologize for my bad pronunciation of Scandinavian people. I'm not very good at it. Is the Thegn of a slightly larger clan that borders your lands to the east. He wears a solemn expression and nods heavily when you approach him. Gunmar is in Valhalla now, Sigmar. There is no doubt about it. He died doing what he loved. But while he feasts among the heroes you have left back here to sort out the pieces, you've got your work cut out for you. What do you mean? Your father managed to make quite a few enemies in his time, most of them among his own clan. If you'll permit me to be honest, he never paid one speck of attention to the wishes or needs of his people. Surely you're not expecting your claim to leadership to go uncontested. I know many disagree with my appointment. It'll be a difficult transition. Well, shit. As long as you know the trouble is brewing, you can take steps to prepare for it. Halfdnar empties his mug full of mead in a single gulp, then slams the mug onto the table and calls to a thrall for a refill. And that is how we end the dialogue with that fat shit. Anyway, let's move on to School Skullcleaver. I said that. School Skullcleaver is the Thegn of Jelling, which borders your area. Jelling is a large territory, or Yelling, sorry, I think is a large territory, and School is one of the most powerful finds in Jutland. Yelling has prospect under his rule. I don't know if it's actually a hard J or like a completely ignored J. So anyone in the comments would like to tell me, that would be brilliant. School pushes himself away from the table with his foot, the chair making a grinding sound across the wooden floor. His face shows earnest sympathy. Sigmar, my boy. So sorry about your father. If there's anything the people of Yelling can do to aid you in these trying times, don't hesitate to ask. Thank you, but we'll be fine. Yes, of course, I'm sure the clan is in good hands. Still, it can't be easy. Your father was a great warrior, but as Thegn, one should not speak ill of the dead. Skull leans towards you, resting his elbows on the table. Tell me, what are your plans to this place? How will you lead your people? This is my business, Skull. Skull leans back in his seat and waves a hand dismissively in your direction. As you wish, dear boy. I shouldn't poke my nose in your affairs. He lets out a deep sigh and leans back into his seat. I'm sure you know I fought with your father many years ago. We're very much of a similar inclination, he and I. That man had a real taste of battle, not like his brothers. Mark my word, Sigmar. True bonds are forged in battle, not bound in blood. He came to me for advice before he mounted his last journey. On accounts of my ties to Xiaopang, I should have warned him better about what he was getting himself into. What does Xiaopang have to do with it? Vikings out of Xiaopang have been to the Isles across the sea. I've heard many stories about it, since I often go there to trade. Your father wanted to hear if the stories were true. But I've taken too much of your time already. I know you have other guests to entertain. Perhaps we'll talk later after a bit more mead. Skull nods more to himself than to you, and turns his attention to the food on the table. This guy's a prick. I'm just going to let you guys know that now. So we're going to go talk to Ragnar the White. Ragnhild the White is the most influential of your guests as the vassal of King Sigurd God damn it, names. Hringer. She is the current ruler of Denmark. She has come from the trade hub of Ribe to the south, where she resides as Jarl. She nods politely as you approach her seat. It was a beautiful ceremony. Sigmar, I extend my condolences for your loss on behalf of the Ribe and of the king. I must tell you, I advised him not to seek out the isles across the sea. We've all heard of the stories of the unprotected coast and their treasures, but there is more dangerous than the rumours let on. I'm not surprised they claimed his life, but I am glad at least they died with a sword in his hand. Thank you for accepting the invitation. We are honoured that you could make it. Of course, your father's sword will be missing in our struggles against the Franks. Did you know Gunmar well? I knew him as a warrior. We fought together on the Bravalia, and he struck me as a shrewd tactician. When your king needs you, I hope you will serve him as well as your father did. My father taught me everything he knew about combat. Jarl Ragnhild nods once. I would expect nothing less of the man, but remember that the amount of practice is a substitute for actual experience. If you'll excuse me, I must do the rounds. Enjoy the feast. The old shield maiden smiles. She gracefully slides back down into her seat, whereupon she spears a large piece of chicken with a knife and dumps it on the plate. So, we've spoke to all the mandatory characters. Nope, sorry, wait, we're missing one mandatory character. And we spoke to all the Thegns. So let's speak to,
There you are. The feast seems to be off to a good start.
Nefja, I think that is. Nefja is one of your oldest friends. Your families have always been close and you grew up together in the village. She just finished pouring your mother a mug of mead. It's nice to see you out of your armour for once. Nefja scoffs sarcastically. You've seen my sister in this dress before. Surely that's the same thing. She closes her eyes and rubs the bridge on her nose with a finger. God, she was so excited to see me like this. I'll never hear the end of it. Where is Euphura? A sardonic undertone creeps into Nefja's voice. My poor sister has a fever again. She has such a frail constitution. All this wet cold is hard on her. Mother stayed home to care for her. What do you think of our guests? She chuckles. Your fellow Thanes are certainly proud and graceful bunch, even as they plot to murder you and take our lands. You think that poorly of them? No, I'm joking. That's certainly the sense I'm getting. She grimaces. Oh, I'm sure not all of them are actively planning to kill us. I have a weird feeling about Skule, though. I doubt they call him Skullcleaver for no reason. Halfdanar plays a lovable old grump, but I know he's had his eyes on our harbour for years. Ragnhild I'm not sure about. She probably has nothing to gain from destroying us, but she's little more than Sigurd Hiringe's appendage. And who knows where he stands. Let's talk later. I have to go be a good host. Good luck and watch your back. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this is where we're going to be ending this for today. I hope you guys have enjoyed, and I hope you guys will join me for the next. Alright, apparently we're going to have to read this. Okay, this must be the most befitting mead hall in Jutland. I hope you're going to insult our... If you're going to insult our host, at least have the sense to whisper. I heard Gunmar had neglected this clan for years, but this is just sad. Maybe your son will do a better job. I doubt he'll live long enough to get the chance. Oh, lovely. Thanks, dickheads. I thought we were friends. But anyways, Joe, maybe you guys enjoy. See you guys next part. See you guys then.